Go. You're done.
Okay,
2, go.
3. All right. Yeah. Very nice. Good job.
The Field of Light installation started in Australia, was inspired by a visit to Uluru, which is in the Northern Territories of Australia. And it was just simply a feeling of joy and connectedness with the landscape. and I just needed to express that. And I was working in light at the time. It took me 10 years to bring that to fruition. The first iteration went into a field outside my home, and then miraculously it's been on this crazy journey around the world for about 21 years now.
Why did you choose a field of light?
I felt it was most appropriate because deserts, as we all know, are barren places when it doesn't rain. But when the rain comes, you get this incredible speeded up version of life. And for some reason, I was associating that sudden growth of flowers and just the idea of growth with a feeling of joy. And so I put the idea in my head, and I had to kind of find an expression in light that would explain that and express that to other people.
At the time, I don't think they had LED lights, right?
Quite right. That's a very good question. We started the installation with metal halide projectors, which are a slow strike. So what that means is that they take about 3 minutes to warm up. And I had a very funny experience with those. First time we put this installation on in our field, there was a helicopter going over. It was an army helicopter. And I ran out and I turned the lights on, and gradually over 2 or 3 minutes the lights got brighter and brighter and brighter, and the helicopter changed direction and started circling our field. And then, as a bit of fun, I turned all the lights off and they go instantly off. And I was waiting for the local newspaper the next morning to say that UFOs had landed, but that never occurred. The technology now is LED and fiber optics. The installation here at Freedom Plaza is probably you would need the same, or uses the same amount of power as an average apartment in Manhattan. Very low.
So it's all wired to a central point?
No, there are actually about 80 luminaires or projectors. Each one of those is about 25 watts. And so the fiber optic is a wonderful material because you pipe light down the fibers from one point light source. And so there are approximately 250 stems of light on each projector or each luminaire.
And now how did you come about the shape of the light itself?
The installation is influenced by the terrain it's in, and also we create a pathway for people to move through the landscape so that they can safely work their way through. So there are lots of factors that actually go into designing and creating each installation. Every installation we do of a field of light, it's the same iteration, but it is always unique to the place it is exhibited in. Colours are always modulated to actually balance with the celestial light. In other words, the stars and the moon. I mean, in New York, obviously, we're in Midtown. There's an awful lot of light here, so it is a very gentle and subtle and hopefully calming installation with the hubbub and the rush of New York and the lighting sort of holding it in its arms.
The fiber optics themselves, from the central point of the light, form this kind of like spider network. Is that part of it?
It is indeed. When you're creating work, you have obviously considerations that you have to bring into the work, and that's the actual physicality and the practicality of how these things work. So obviously your knowledge over years, I've been working in light now for over 40 years, so I play with materials all the time. I'm always experimenting, and that's the joy of it for me. It's not quite knowing, you never quite know what it's going to be, but you have an idea in your mind.
And how does this installation compare with other installations came before?
That's a good question. I believe strongly that landscapes change the work, and the work changes the landscape. And if every installation I have created or iteration of the field of light is always different, it's got a different feel.
What is important about this, or what do you want to say that I haven't been able to think to ask you?
So the most important thing about this is that we are in dark times. This installation is about bringing people together. It's about having a sense of joy and connection in the landscape. That's what I felt all those years ago. And the art I try and make, without it being corny or saccharine, is always to try and connect people, not only with their families and their friends, but look wider. When we walk down the street, we should be smiling at each other, not scowling and not hating each other. We should appreciate our fellow human being rather than trying to hurt them and destroy them.
And why do you say we're in dark times?
Well, we are in dark times because look what's going around the world. I mean, this is a very relevant location. We are in the shadow of the UN building, and I can't think of a better location to try and sing out, let's have hope and joy in our hearts. We need it, and we need a bit of light.
Whoa, that is cinematic, bro.